birthday and he didn't, or when he was supposed to mail me a Nintendo and I have yet to get it, or when he came and spent $200 on me and told me that was all I was worth. Like, those are the things that I have with my dad. Up until recently, when, he would come and spend a couple days. But it's like those couple days don't trump years of trauma that I've had to deal with. So I would say it's a cycle, but I'll say that my sister's dad is making an effort to break that cycle. They talk on the phone, they text, he comes to her stuff. He does a really good job at being there for her. And I pray that whomever I decide to have my kids with understands my trauma enough to not inflict that on my kids, because it's something that you just can't let go. It's a part of you forever. It's not something that you just go to therapy for a couple weeks and be like, "All right, fam, I'm good." Like that's not how that works. Like, that's not how that trauma works. Like, it becomes a part of you. So I would say that my sister's dad is doing a great job at breaking that cycle.
How has being a daddyless daughter impacted your relationship with men?
Oh girl, tell me about it. I would say being a daddyless daughter has impacted me because I feel like in order for a man to stay with me, I have to give up something. I feel like I have to make them stay. And for a while, I thought like sex was it. I was like, I'm put that thing on you and you're not gonna go nowhere. And then you look up and they're gone. And you're at home broken, like I gave you all I had. Or you look up and your bank account is empty and you like, the shoes you left me in, like, I bought. Like, it just, for a while, it made me feel like I had to prove myself every day. So every day, I had, whatever I did the day before, I have to trump. I have to do something else to make you stay. And it's a really devastating experience because I feel like men know. I do. I feel like men know when you have trauma and they're like, I know if I tell you that I love you and I buy you this cheeseburger, you gonna stay. And my dumb ass eat that cheeseburger and sit my ass right down on that couch because they say that they love me. But they don't love you. They know that you're accessible. It took me a while. I dated a girl and the same thing happened. Like, I thought maybe like it's just the men in my life. So I dated a girl and I'm cheated on like 6 times. Like, it's the same thing. People know when they can capitalize on your trauma. And being a daddyless daughter, your guard is always up because now that I'm aware, it's like, are you here for me or are you here for what you think I can do for you? Because I'm open and I'm vulnerable. And you know that if you say you need something and I got it, you're going to have it regardless. And that really that was really my outlook until I met the guy that I kind of sort of talk to right now. And he's not like he's never capitalized on that. He's always known that my dad isn't in my life because situations have happened where I've needed to call him and be like, hey, like I can't function. Like this thing just happened with my dad. Like, can you come be there? And he's almost made it his mission to let me know that like I don't have to sacrifice myself to be with him. Like, he takes care of me and it's like I don't have to give like that anymore. Like, he's there for me, whether I'm bald headed, whether my wig is on straight, whether I got money in my pocket. Like, he's there and like he doesn't have to be. And it's sometimes hard to even let him in because I'm scared that one day he's gonna leave me. It makes you scared. I'm scared I'm scared for any man in my life. Even my homeboys, I'm scared that like one day they're gonna meet somebody that can give them something that I can't and they're gonna leave me because that's how my dad is. My dad would be in my life until he got married. And he's been married like 7 times. And every time he gets married, he dips and I don't hear from him. And then he gets a divorce and he calls me. And when it comes to the men in my life, I would say none of them have ever valued me the way that I feel like I should have been valued. Because I'm a great woman and I'm a great person. And when you don't have a dad to solidify that, you look for other men to solidify that you're a great person. And they tell you what they're going to tell you because they want what they can get from you. And it's really hard to differentiate like who's there for you and who's there for what they can get. Yeah.
Have you willingly sacrificed your emotional well-being to feel love from a man?
Oh, for sure. I've tolerated a lot of things I shouldn't have tolerated because I didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to be by myself. And also being a leader, a person that people know, they expect your relationship to be happy. And they expect you to have a happy home. And it looks good for pictures. It looks good. Meanwhile, I am going through hell. And it's never really been like a 50-50 relationship. It's always been like me giving like 90 and like him giving like 10. But I would always tell myself, like, you cared enough to ask me out, so obviously you care. I just need to just remind you of why you care. But you can't make a man love you. You can't make him stay if he doesn't want to stay. And I've tolerated being cheated on. I've tolerated being lied to, being abused. I've tolerated a lot until I had to value myself more than my circumstances. You really have to like value yourself in order to not be a prisoner to what you think love is supposed to look like or what you see on Twitter, because you never know what those couples are going through when the camera's not on. And a lot of people will never know that, like, I mean, as a woman in general, we're expected to tolerate whatever happens. And that's like BS. What's BS for me now? Me, like a couple years ago, would have been like, girl, he just going through it. No, that's BS. I ain't tolerating. I'm not tolerating the motherfucking thing, okay? I'm not. Not anymore. Like, this new love I have for me, I ain't tolerating no bullshit from not now. Okay? I'm not doing it. And thankfully, I don't have to, because the man that I'm talking to right now, we've already been through that, and he already know, like, I'm not with none of the shenanigans, and he doesn't put me through any shenanigans, so we don't have that problem. But prior, girl, you'd be amazed. Like, I mean, I literally look back at the stuff I used to tolerate and be like, what was I going through? Like, why didn't I, like, snap myself out of it and know that, like, I was worth it? But I also feel like everything that I've been through has made me the woman that I am today. And now I can help somebody else notice the signs of, like, hey, that's a red flag. Or, like, hey, you shouldn't tolerate that. So I truly feel like everything that I've dealt with, it really wasn't for me. It was God putting me through something so that I could help somebody else. So, yeah.
How has being a daddyless daughter impacted your relationship with God?
I would say that I thank God for my mother, because she was my Bible study teacher, and she was on hospitality, and she did the AV at the church, and she was on praise and worship, which means I was doing everything. I was a praise dancer. I was on the step team. I was an armor bearer. I was a mom. Girl, like, so when it comes to my relationship with God, my dad had absolutely nothing to do with that, because my mom was clear that if God can bring you to it, he can bring you through it. And she says to me all the time, no matter what I'm dealing with. I know if I need prayer, if I need to be prayed through something, to call my mom. When it came to my dad, I used to feel like God would leave me on voicemail. I swear to God. I feel like God blocked me for a while, because my dad would be putting me through stuff, and I'd be calling God like, say, Pimp, hello, why is this happening to me? And it really just up until now, talking to my mom, I'm realizing that I wouldn't be the woman that I am if God didn't allow those things to happen to me. I truly feel like everything that happens in your life, which is just like the story of Job, like the devil couldn't touch Job until God gave the devil clearance to touch Job. And I feel like God gives certain circumstances clearance, because God knows that I can handle them, and that at some point I'm gonna have to pray somebody else through whatever I'm dealing with now. So when it comes to my relationship with God, my mom really solidified that for me because I never had to doubt whether God was in my corner or not. Because there's plenty of situations that should have and could have killed me, and I'm here. So I totally thank my mom for always making God and prayer a priority. My dad had absolutely. I don't think me and my dad have ever even had a conversation about faith or Christianity or spirituality or anything of that manner. That was totally Kathy Brown. And I always love her and appreciate her for teaching me that at a young age, because now that I'm on my own technically and figuring things out, I know that a shadow of doubt if nobody got me. Like, God gonna be there regardless, and God ain't gonna bring me through something that I can't handle. So yeah.
If your father or any other absent father was standing in front of you, what would you want to tell them about being a daddyless daughter and how that has impacted you and other women?
I would say don't introduce your daughter to something that you can't maintain, because being let down especially being let down by your father, is like the most devastating thing, especially when it happens multiple times. Like, I think I just would have rather my dad just not been there at all than for him to come in, buy me a cheeseburger and dip. And I'm like, I'm hungry again. Where's my cheeseburger? So if I could talk to fathers in general, my thing would just be consistent. If you're gonna consistently not be there, consistently not be there. If you're gonna be there consistently, be there consistently, because she deserves for you to be there consistently, because she didn't ask to be here. Nobody told you to lay up with her mama and handle your business, and now she here. She didn't ask for that. And also, just men in general, if you are not prepared to be a father, handle your business before you lay down with that woman, because once that baby gets here, you have an obligation. And if you are not going to handle that obligation, save that woman and her baby the trouble of having to compensate for you not being there, because it's fucked up having to compensate. So, piss or get off the pot. Like, I'm just at a point in my life where I just don't have time to sugarcoat it with anybody. Either you're going to be there or you're not. And if you're not going to be there, get on 290 and never look back. But if you're going to be there, park your ass at Prairie View and go to class. Like, that's it. Like, I just don't have time. Like that's just my thing with my dad. Like, I just need him to be consistent. And now, thank God, we're kind of getting to this place where either I'm becoming okay with his inconsistency or he's making an effort. And that's all I can ask for at this point. Like, I also have just relinquished all expectations of expecting anything from him. And I think that's a scary place to be in as a daddyless daughter, because it's like, now I don't expect shit from you. So when you do shit, it don't matter no more. It don't faze me. I don't care. Because I'm at a point where, you ain't been here. So now that you're trying to be here, I want to know why you want to be here now. Like, what's so important about it now? So to all the fathers out there, just know your responsibilities before you have sex with the person. And if you have sex with that woman and she comes up pregnant, handle your business. Because your child is going to go through, and this goes for daddyless daughters and daddyless sons. It is hard not having both of your parents in your life emotionally, mentally, financially, spiritually. It's fucked up. So stop doing it.